Hey, what's up you guys? It's Tyler. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. Today, we are doing a crazy customer story time because that's what got the most votes on my YouTube poll. Make sure you check those if you want to be involved with my polls. If not, check my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Be involved in those polls too, because I did that as well. Anyways, if you don't know me, if you don't know my channel, I have a whole playlist on like crazy customer story times. I work at a pet store, and I have a bajillion experiences with a bajillion different people on a bajillion different things, and sometimes people are just a little crazy. So today I have one that's not necessarily a horrible person, because she was fine, nothing's wrong with her, but you'll understand as we go further into the story. I don't know if you can see that I have a scar on my finger. That's important to the story. So I work in pet care in the pet store, so I sell animals, I take care of animals, I do all of that. I do everything in the store pretty much. But my main job is helping people with animals. So I get called over to the hamster section of our animal care center, whatever you want to call it. I go over, I'm like, do you need help with hamsters? She's like, yeah, I want to get this one. And I'm like, great. I ask her like a million questions, like, do you have a tank? Do you have like everything set up? Have you had one before? Are you familiar? She's like, yes, I have a tank. Yes, I have this. Yes, I have that. I just had a hamster. It passed away. There's a squirrel. Hello. He's kind of cute. I ask her all of those questions. And then she shows me a picture of her tank, which it ends up being a cage. And I'm like, that's not gonna work. That doesn't work. She wanted a Syrian hamster, which is a large hamster. Hamsters should not be in cages. Just a little information for you in case you didn't know. Don't put a hamster in a cage. It's not appropriate. I tell her all of that. She still wants the hamster, so I'm gonna sell her the hamster. Whatever. She's gonna get a tank eventually. Which sucks. I hate that part of my job, is when you have to give somebody an animal if they aren't gonna take care of the animal right away. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Anyways, what I do when I pick up a hamster, because I've been bitten so many times, they have the houses in their enclosures. Obviously, they have like a house where they go to bed. They go to bed and they hide their food. So instead of picking up the hamster with my hands, like just grabbing the hamster with my hands, because my hands are not very large, and it's a large hamster. If I just grab it with both my hands, it's gonna fall on the floor. So that doesn't work. I pick it up with the house. It's a pretty large house. It's one of those like plastic houses that you see in pet stores all the time. I pick it up and I'm like, oh, this is going great. This is a really sweet hamster. Like, I've interacted with this hamster plenty of times. She's very nice. She bites me. She bites me really hard. And I'm like, okay. I'm still holding the hamster. I'm like, okay, I got bit. That's not very nice. I'm like, why would you do that? That's not very nice. I'm like joking with the person getting the hamster. I'm like, oh my god, she's a little angry today. Put the hamster in the box. We have a little box where the hamsters go when they go home. And I'm like, oh, my finger's bleeding. It's pouring blood. It's not like, oh, there's a little bit of blood. It's pouring down my arm, and it got on the wall. So, you know how there's a wall of hamsters, just like there's a wall of birds, there's a wall of reptiles. It's like a thing where all of the enclosures are. There's blood all over it. I bled all over the wall. I bled all over the floor. I bled all over the cart. I bled all over every single thing in the vicinity. I bled all over it. Blood squirting out of my finger. And I'm like, I'm so surprised, because I've been bitten by a hamster so many times, and I've never, ever had that happen to where I'm squirting blood on the wall, dude. I'm pouring blood out of my finger in front of this person. So I'm like, holy crap. Like, I need to go to the back right now. And I haven't closed the box because I just put the hamster in, and I'm like, shit, like, I'm pouring blood out right now. And I told the lady, like, do you think you could close that box so I don't get blood all over your box? And I'm like so embarrassed. I'm like, what? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. I promise I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't say that, obviously, but in my head, I'm like, oh my god, why does this happen? Why does this happen to me? And she's struggling with the box, and I'm holding my hand because it's squirting blood everywhere. It's all over the place. It's literally all over the floor. It's all over the wall. It's all over the cart. Like I said, it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere. it's fucking dripping down my arm, and it's dripping off of my hands. I'm cupping my hand, like with my other hand, I'm like cupping it, like trying not to get blood everywhere. And she's struggling, and I'm like, can you just, like, do you think you could just hold it closed? Like, just make sure she doesn't get out. I have to go. Do you think I could go to the back? Like, I just don't want to get blood all over your box. And she's like, yeah, I got it. And I just see her struggling, and I'm like, oh my god, please don't lose this hamster. Anyways, I run to the back, which is kind of far away, because I'm in, like, the middle of the store. And I have to go all the way to the front of the store. It's a pretty large store. So I'm walking very swiftly. It's very busy. I think this was on a Sunday. So it was a weekend. It's very busy. It's like 4 p.m. It's very, very busy right now. Everybody's off work. Everybody's shopping at the pet store, you know, like as you do, as everybody does, just shopping around a pet store on a Sunday. I don't know. I'm dripping blood on the floor. I have a trail of blood following me. Nobody sees me, thank God. Nobody's like, oh my god, are you okay? Which would have been even more embarrassing. But nobody saw me. There's just a trail of blood behind me. Anyways, I go to the back and I am bleeding. I will insert pictures, so I will give you like 10 seconds. You don't have to skip it, just don't look at the screen, because I'm going to put a picture up right now. That is my hand. I'm going to put probably a couple pictures up so you can see how much blood it was going on my hand. And that was after I like dried it off and like had pressure on it for a while. So it's dripping blood everywhere through the whole store. Anyways, I finally get to the back. There's a trail of blood. I didn't even notice this until I went back out, but there's a trail of blood everywhere that I walk. There's a trail. Yeah, I go to the back. There's somebody on the radio that's like, can we get back up? And I didn't say anything because my hand is pouring blood, so I need a second, okay? I can't respond right now. And then somebody else on the radio is like, oh, Tyler's doing an animal sale right now, so they can't be up here right now. And I'm like, I finally grabbed the thing. I'm like, actually, I had to stop doing that for a second because my hand is pouring blood everywhere. So I'm in the back. And they were like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, fine. I'm not fine, but like, I kind of have to be. Yeah, that was interesting. So I was sitting in the back for probably like 2 minutes, which I thought I was just gonna be in there for like 10 seconds, but it would not stop pouring blood. Like I washed it out, I rinsed it out, I held pressure on it for like a minute. It was still freaking bleeding. So at that point, I'm like, I need to go back to this lady because everybody else is getting back up. Nobody's gonna go check on this lady. I need to go make sure the hamster didn't escape. So I have a paper towel wrapped around like my whole hand, and it's just bright red. Like it's just red because I'm bleeding so much. So I'm just walking around with this red paper towel around my hand, and I'm like, I go back to the lady and I see the trail of blood, and I'm like, oh my god. And I say on the radio, I'm like, there's like a trail of blood everywhere on the store. So I'm gonna have to clean that up after I'm done with the hamster lady. So it might be a minute or two until I can help y'all out. Cause I have to clean up my blood around the whole store. Yeah. So I get back to the lady and I'm like, I am so sorry about that. I did not know. That's never happened to me before. I did not expect to bleed that much all over everything. I'm very sorry. I get her set up. She closed the box, thank God. I'm like, wow, she did it. Because those boxes are difficult to close. I don't know why. There's not like an easier way to transport animals, but she figured it out. Thank God. Lovely. Fantastic. So I get her paper. You know, she signs a little paper, a little form when you buy an animal. And I like rip it off with my other hand that's not covered in blood. I'm like, all right, you're all set. I want to put your little baby up front. And I bring her little hamster up to the front, and I see the trail of blood. I'm just walking in the trail of blood, but some of it is missing. So either somebody cleaned up my trail of blood or a dog licked it. Either way, I'm a little bit concerned. I don't really want to think about that right now, to be honest with you. I just don't want to think about that. So, yeah, that happened. The lady was like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed right now. I'm so embarrassed. I didn't say any of this, but I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just picked up your hamster and then it attacked me, which is fine. It's a hamster. It's an animal. It's gonna bite. But I'm just sitting there bleeding all over everything. I'm like so embarrassed. Like, does she think I like killed it or something? Does she think I attacked it and that's why it attacked me? I don't know. And then I got blood all over the cart and all over the wall and all over the floor, and she was just sitting there looking at it the whole time I was in the back. And I'm like, am I gonna get like reported to corporate or something for bleeding all over everything? Like, I bled all over everything. It was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. So anyways, after all of that, this has nothing to do with the customer, so if you don't want to listen to any of this, I don't care. Skip it. Leave the video if you don't want to hear this. So, the rest of the day, this was, like I said, at like 4 p.m. and we close at 7. So, had a bit of time to assess the situation and like calm down my bleeding. I'm kind of like walking around the store with a paper towel, which I've changed so many times. I've changed this paper towel probably like 20 times in the past like 40 minutes or so, because it's bleeding so much. And at that point I'm like, can I take a 15? Because like I can't do anything with my hand bleeding everywhere, and like a band-aid is not going to stick on my finger right now because it's bleeding so much. So I need to take a break so that I can deal with it. Anyways, I get let to go on my break. I'm in the break room and I'm just like, what the hell just happened? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, ew. Eventually I'm gonna put some pictures in here of like the after. It's really gross, so there's a warning. It's not happening right now, so you don't need to look away or anything, but I will put pictures of the aftermath. Right now, this is it. It looks actually pretty good right now. Lovely, beautiful, look at that, so cute. I'm in the break room. I'm trying to get it to stop bleeding. I'm applying a lot of pressure, just hanging out in the break room. And then my manager comes to find me and he's like, I brought you gauze and medical tape and band-aids, like you've got it all. So I'm like in the break room, I'm like doing like surgery on my hand, trying to get it to like stay on my finger, which is very difficult to place a band-aid in that, on like the bend of your finger, which by the way, this still hurts. So that's fun. Even though it's been like a week, it still hurts to do anything. But yeah, I did like surgery on my finger. I finally got this medical gauze all wrapped up on my finger, and I'm just like walking around like a lunatic for, I don't even know, like an hour. And I had to keep changing it because it's still bleeding. Like, it's still bleeding a lot. So I was walking around again with the paper towel because it just kept bleeding. The medical tape and the gauze was not working, so I was just walking around with a bleeding paper towel, helping customers. Nobody cares. Nobody bats a freaking eye. I'm just over here bleeding. It's fine. It's fine. But that's kind of the end of my story. Nothing crazy happened, except my finger did not stop bleeding until like 11 p.m. So it was bleeding for like 6 hours. I don't know why. I don't know. Anyways, now I'm gonna put in some pictures of this. So if you don't want to see it, close your eyes or skip it, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna put some pictures in of what it looked like after I got bit, and then like the few days after I got bit, just so you can see how disgusting it was. And yes, I am a little bit concerned about like rat bite fever, whatever it is. I don't know if that works with rodents, but I'm sick now and it's like a week after, so if I have rat bite fever, you know, that wouldn't be great for my career, but I'm sure I'm fine. I don't think I have rabies. I don't know how long it takes for rabies symptoms to show up. I'm joking, obviously I'm joking. Not joking about the rat bite fever because I don't know anything about that. yeah, that sucked. I couldn't bend my finger for days. I couldn't shower without a glove on for days. I had to put a glove on, like, at work to, like, catch fish, and people were like, what is wrong with you? Like, do you have lotion on your hands? And I'm like, no, I just have, like, a bite, and it's bleeding. I just can't be a normal human for a couple days. Anyways, that's it. That's my story. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it was a rather long story, so I needed this to be its own video. If you want to see more videos like this, I do have more stories. So, if you like it, let me know. Like the video. Share my playlist. Share it. Share it to everybody. I'm joking. Don't do that. Or do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Yeah, I'm gonna film another video today. So, if you see me wearing my Twilight shirt in my next video, it's because I'm trying to film another video. Because I'm trying to be productive. Because I was supposed to film this last week, and then I didn't. Because I didn't. So now I need to catch up. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Oh, guys, give me video ideas, please, because I don't have a ton of them. I don't have a ton, so give me video ideas if you want to hear me talk about certain things. I have ideas for talking about, like, OnlyFans stuff, which I know those videos were really popular, so I could talk more about that. I could do more crazy customer story times. I could talk more about, like, I don't know, give me ideas. Okay, thanks. Goodbye. For real this time. Goodbye.